Welcome back inside the Dome. Dave Revsine joined by a couple familiar faces. Chris Dortch, the editor of the Blue Ribbon Basketball Yearbook, and of course our friend Mike DeCourcy from the Sporting News. And guys, we saw Trey Burke and Michigan struggle, particularly from the outside in that game against Syracuse. Burke held under double figures for just the second time all year. What do you think of this matchup for Trey Burke against Louisville in terms of his ability to bounce back, Chris?
Obviously, Dave, he's going to have to be a factor tonight offensively. And if any team they've played all year has the quickness to stay in front of Trey Burke, it's Louisville with Siva and Russ Smith. So it's going to be a little bit of a battle of that quickness, mano a mano. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
The thing about this matchup compared to some of the ones he's been through before, though, smaller guys. Finally, somebody he can look in the eye. Russ Smith, Peyton Siva, guys that are both 6 feet on the depth chart. He hasn't had that in a while. He had Michael Carter-Williams, 6'5", 6'6". He had Scotty Wilbekin, 6'3", and strong. And then, of course, Elijah Johnson, 6'4", 6'5". So I think it's going to be a relief to him. Plus, I think it gives you more options in the pick and roll. When you bring Mitch McGary out and set a screen, you can switch Carter-Williams onto him, and he can at least bother him a little bit. You switch Peyton Siva onto him, and he's going right to the rim, and Mitch will get it to him. So I think this actually plays a little bit more into Trey's strengths in some of the games he's faced through the tournament.
Yeah, that would be a mismatch in favor of McGary. Frankly, there have been a lot of mismatches in favor of McGary so far here in this NCAA tournament. I mean, he is far and away the player who has emerged most onto the national scene, a guy who was just a bit player, as we know, during the course of the year, and now arguably the most outstanding player so far in this tournament. What do you think about the matchup inside, about McGary and the Michigan bigs against Louisville?
This will be a different defensive challenge for him. He played a great defensive center in Jeff Withey, a terrific shot blocker, able to hold his ground. Jeng is so much faster and quicker and mobile in the post than anybody that McGary has faced, and that will be a real challenge. Terrific timing on shot blocks, so Mitch has to keep his head in the game. He has to use his strength. He can't force action. But he has to play the angles. If he does that, I think he has a chance to do a little damage. The biggest thing for me is just basically if you can play even in that matchup, not get dominated, I think that you have a chance to really allow the perimeter guys to do their thing.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. I think there's no way that Michigan's going to win inside, not with Harrell and Jang and Bohannon. They've got too much size and strength. They've dominated in the paint during this tournament. They've shot 62% of their twos. So what Michigan is going to have to do, Dave, is negate it somewhat. I think they have to make 8 threes minimum to do that.
Of course, this is a team that shoots the three extremely well in Michigan, averaging about 7.5 per game, second most in the Big Ten. We will see how this one goes down in that backcourt, frontcourt matchup. Plenty more coming up here from Atlanta momentarily. But for now, we go back to our BTN studios.